get an email, Rock Auto. So now we're selling Proforged. I go, Proforged? What? Proforged? Back in the day, there was this kid, mail guy's gonna stop, USPS, terrible service. Years ago there was this kid in the New York area. His name was Zach, had an Impala, or a 9C1 or something, or an Impala. But he started a suspension business. I believe, I've never asked, I talked to him a couple times, it's not my freaking business, but I think there's family was in Cantor Automotive. They make like a bunch of stuff for older vehicles. I think they have like the largest Packard collection of like new and NOS parts. Anyway, so that kid, right, is about my age, probably like near genius. I have my issues. I'm like so far behind compared to some people that I make do with what I am. But basically, he was up there, used to show up, and sold suspension parts. First, he had a deal with PST. He would like just buy in like bulk, and then would just drop ship from the company. I remember him telling me back in the day, because this is when this kid was like 17 years old, and he was doing all this stuff. Then he started his own company, Power Performance or something. Now the name is Proforged. I remember these little bolts I got for the brake thing. I think he made those because no one else is making them. He sucked up that market fast. It's a nonsense part. It costs like $3 to make, and let's just say they're selling it for more than that. So good for them for making a buck on something that no one was making. That's what he told me though. I remember when I was a kid, I asked him, "Hey, what does it take to start a business?" He told me, "What is it? To be confident and to find a niche market." And I just got the letter today, Rock Auto. So I'm just like see what he's doing. He's all over the internet. It's like so many more companies made up. Just incredible, amazing. But I don't know how they do it, how they figure it all out, but they do. With the technology of today, I'm so far behind on it. I really don't care to even learn about it. The technology. I joke I was using Windows XP until last year. But that's like everything. You have to change with the market, and or with the times, or else you're just gonna get flushed down the toilet. So yeah, that was kind of funny. Yeah, Proforged on rockauto.com now being sold. I have not used any of their suspension parts. I'm considering it though. It says they were good. I think he was making them overseas, but what isn't made overseas these days? But they were somehow engineered over here, and I don't know, all this stuff. He used to tell me all this stuff. I actually had their instant messenger back in the day, and we would talk. Some days I feel like asking the kid, "Hey, you remember me?" But what the hell's the point? I'm just some nobody. But that was that. That's just a funny story though about how things you can build it. This is an example of how you can build something from nothing, this with time, and if you keep cracking at it. And now they got stuff being sold at Rock Auto. I like that though. Anytime with a business, people who work for businesses and just tell your stories, it really gets your mind going. Because in life, you're going to be the freaking person that's working for someone being nothing, or you're going to be the easy person, doing, well, not the easy person, doing the easy thing, doing your own thing, and, making all sorts of profits from small amounts of time invested and work invested instead of breaking rocks all day for peanuts like so many do around here. And then once you get sucked in that, you never do anything. You're going to be stuck in that industry forever. So that's kind of crazy. I won't go into my little successes and whatever, but I always remembered what they told me about being confident and finding a niche market. And every time I did something, I was profiting somewhat. Those were the characteristics in the situation. Anyway, I just had to share that. That's funny. Go check it out. Proforged. They make a lot of parts, and I think some of it is produced over here now. I don't know. I don't care. I'm making nothing off of even saying this, so it doesn't even matter. I can't even put a video of my Halloween story, and they have to demonetize it. So that is that video over. We're not going to Draw this out. And there's the car. You see, that's the thing I was going to touch on too. Back in the day, there were so many interesting people. Again, things changed though. It's time. So many interesting people who were like into the same car from all these different industries, and the knowledge, like all this got together. But now it's just garbage. Now it's just people who want to put wheels, speakers, and crazy paint jobs, and then they junk them. That's what it is today. Just anyone could do that. But there were some minds that were into these vehicles back in the day, and it's kind of depressing. But I don't know, as an old timer, I guess, being 30 something years old, but being into it since I was like 14, 13, whatever the hell. Yeah, you definitely saw a whole decline of it. That's actually another niche market right here for the people who still keep these things. You try to find something with that, produce parts, but that's a whole lot of work. It's easier just buying them junk ones and parting them out. Can't do that here though. I was thinking about it. Wrecker, I don't know. But then again, you really want to do that though? You really want to be the parts junkie? Selling stuff sucks, man. I mean, when you're the only person that has to, when you're the one-man operation, the lister, the packager, the customer service guy, it sucks, man. Totally sucks. You're better off, again, like what they do. You sell your product to a big company, and they distribute it from there. Way easier, because they take all the blunt. You're just a supplier at this point. Being the supplier is better than being the person who has to take all the grunt work, or do all the grunt work. Alright, enough of this.